Good morning, everybody. It has been quite a long time since I've been here on camera. Like I have let some people know, I have a lot of issues with storage on my phone. So I'm gonna try this out. I'm hoping that I'll make it and that I can give you guys a video today. It's been quite some time that I've been able to do that, so I'm gonna give it a shot today. So what I'm working with today is two different things. First of all, I am participating in the Counterfeit Kit Challenge, and this month had some really cool color combinations of like purple and like this aqua tealy color, some browns, some yellows. It's had some really neat combinations here. So what I picked out, sorry, there's my cat wanting to help narrate. I have picked out several papers for today's layout. And the first one is from 49 and Market. I have several of this design, so don't get upset when I cut it all up. I have like 3 or 4 of this exact page. It just came in a kit I got that had multiples of each page. So don't be worried, I have more of this. The back is a pretty like dark blue, but this one just doesn't work for our color combo today. So I'm going to be using some from this side. I have a piece of bezel cardstock in quicksand that I got from a scrap room kit. Just kind of pulled it out of there. And I have 2 papers from Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Winter Woods. The first one is this beautiful stripe that has all of our colors. It's got kind of like this lilac-y purple in there, the tealy blue, and then some of the brown. And then this one here has some of that kind of purpley pink color. So I thought that I could try to figure out a way to use each of these papers inside the layout. So the other part that I'm doing, so this part is for the Counterfeit Kit Club Challenge for this month. And then the second part is a layout here from the Scrap Room. This is their monthly layout challenge, and it is a layout by Susanna Lee. She always has the best layouts. They're just perfectly proportioned, and you can do a lot with what she has. So I really liked this layout because I can use several different papers with it, and because the point of Counterfeit Kit is to use up what you have, this is perfect. I can use up several pieces of paper, at least partially, and I can come up with a cute layout with that. So this is going to be the sketch I'm using. And then just to kind of give you what I'm thinking, I have this picture my mom sent to me of her and my dad on the beach this weekend. And so I'm going to scrap this photo. So what my thought process here is to use the quicksand cardstock as my background and basically be this part of the sketch. And then I love how this is situated right up here where this little piece is at. And so I thought that could be the start to one of my clusters right up here. So I could use a strip of that. And then for the accent pieces, I can dip into the other 2. Not quite sure how I'm going to do all that, but that's how I'm going to start. So let me go ahead and just off camera get that base laid out here, where I'm going to kind of get a strip of this, put it on here, and then kind of figure out how I want to do my strips. And then I'll come back and show you that part of the layout. Okay, be right back in a minute. All right, so I have gone ahead and cut out the strips that I told you about to make just the basic layout. And I also went ahead and I matted my photo a couple of times in both of the patterns that I was going to use. And I cut out that other big floral cluster with the clock that was on the 49 and Market sheet, because I thought instead of using, more square pieces of paper up at the top, I could just incorporate that big cluster instead of one of the squares that was on the sketch. I grabbed another ephemera piece from 49 in Market, and that was that white piece that I just kind of stuck down underneath the photo. And then a ticket here because I love tickets, and if I can use them in any way, I will. So I found one of those that matched as well and went ahead and stuck that kind of behind for that big element that was on the sketch that actually had 2 squares, but I decided, like I said, to use the floral cluster plus that little, I used the tab part of the big square and then the ticket there. So I really like how that turned out. I think it matches the theme that I was going along with and really works with that 49 in Market paper off to the right hand side. Sometimes it's a little hard to work with 49 in Market because you just don't want to lose anything because their papers are so beautiful, and this tends to be pretty like vintage looking. So I was kind of trying to put together these elements in a way that it didn't make it look funny. Down on the right hand bottom side of the photo, I started another cluster with a Paige Evans ephemera. It's just a great big like flower. And then from my stash, I had an acrylic title that says Fun Times, and that came from Not Just for Boys Kit Club in a kit a long time ago, or maybe it was an add-on that I purchased, but the colors worked really well with this. Off to the side, I made myself a couple of banners with a punch and then the papers. One of the banners, the blue one, was in an ephemera kit from Echo Park. I had one extra purple floral from, I think it was Vicky Booten, that I never had anything purple, so this was the perfect time to use that. And then I used another punch to cut out a few small flowers that I layered up and put up in that upper right-hand corner cluster, and then one down on the big Paige Evans flower as well. So right now I'm going through my 49 in Market wishing bubbles, and I kind of play around with these a bit to kind of figure out what I want to do. And also they're a little bit older, so some of the like the picture part of the bubble continues to stick to the acetate, so I kind of have to play around with them. So here I'm playing around with placement with these. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted some other like circular element, like it would look like a flare down there by that that floral on the bottom part of the picture, but I'll find something later. It just wasn't that one that I was looking at. And I'm just kind of sprinkling these around here. On the Vicky Booten flower, y'all saw me put one on the center of that. That was because it had gold in it, and I really didn't have any more gold and didn't want any more gold. So I just decided to cover it up, and so I wouldn't have that gold element there. And I like how that turned out. And here I'm just adding some more from the Wishing Bubbles packet. It has these pretty little hearts as well. They kind of look like, they're not puffy, like a puffy, they're not soft like that. I almost feel like acrylic. So I don't quite know what they are, but they're real shiny, like a flare would be, and kind of like an acrylic, but they're not like really hard like an acrylic either. So they're kind of an interesting material. And I like the shine that they give to the page, and also that it has like some glitter in the background too. So it gives a pretty little sheen to everything. I use quite a bit of these Wishing Bubbles packs here. I use the hearts. I use some of the puffy bubbles and all of that kind of stuff here to kind of just add, especially with the purple, because I had so little amounts of purple in my stash that I kind of had to use what I had. So I'm liking how this is turning out so far. I don't do a whole lot more to this. I just kind of put what I can where I can and just kind of build up these clusters, trying to give a little bit of each color to each cluster. I do tend to be a little purple heavy in this one, and that's okay because some of my other layouts using this counterfeit kit are going to be more on the teal blue side heavy because I just have more of that. So here I have just this random pack of jewels that I've had for a while in my stash, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sprinkle them around just to give a little bit of sparkle, and I like how they look. And it helps to kind of build out some of those clusters where I felt like maybe they just needed to reach out just a little bit more, and I didn't have any more florals or anything that was going to match this particular layout. So I decided to kind of expand those clusters with these jewels here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just kind of fixing my title there and make sure it's as straight as it can be. And then just again, adding these little sparkles here to the page. I do one more up there by the title. I wasn't quite sure how I felt about this when I got done, but I did like the extension, I'm sorry, of that cluster. So I left it, even though I'm not quite certain how I felt about it. And here I thought I was done. So I am showing you the close-up of all of the dimension and the layers and things that I put onto the page. And once I do the slowdown, you're going to see that I actually wasn't done, and I decided to add some white splatters to the page as well, which I think really gives it the best finishing touch. I hope y'all enjoyed this little short video today. I hope to make some more in the future and more with my counterfeit kit. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so you get notified when I update again. Bye y'all.